Hey there folks, so good day to all of our viewers. We, the science nerds, are back in action and it's Farah and Sam here today with a few of our members. We've got a super exciting and informative video lined up for you, and our goal is to amp up the awareness on this cool topic, which is the rising of the sea level.
Thank you, Farah. So, what is sea level? At its essence, sea level is the average height of the world's oceans. It acts as a crucial benchmark for measuring elevations on land. It's important to note that sea level isn't fixed. It undergoes a natural fluctuations. So, one may ask, what is rising sea level? Now, let's delve into the concept of rising sea levels. Rising sea levels refer to a gradual increase in the average level of the oceans over time. This phenomenon is primarily attributed to global warming. As we burn fossil fuels, greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide are released into the atmosphere. These gases trap heat, leading to a warming planet. Consequently, ice from glaciers and polar caps melts and warmer ocean water expands. The combination of these factors results in a rise in sea levels. So, how is it measured? Moving on to how can the sea levels be measured? Measuring sea level is a complex task that involves sophisticated methods. Satellite altimetry uses satellites equipped with radar instruments to measure the height of the ocean surface. So this provides a global perspective. Additionally, tide gauges installed at various coastal locations offer localized measurements. By combining data from the sources, scientists can monitor changes in sea level over time with remarkable precision.
So, now, why does sea level matters? Sea level matters because it holds immense significance due to its profound impact on our environment and also community. Rising sea levels contribute to more frequent and severe flooding, coastal erosion, and threaten the stability of coastal ecosystems. And it's not just a matter of changing landscapes, it also directly affects the life and livelihoods of communities around the world. Okay, so now let's zoom in on Tuvalu, a small island nation in the Pacific. So Tuvalu is particularly vulnerable to rising sea levels due to its low elevation. Increased flooding and coastal erosion pose significant challenges, which does not only affect the physical landscape but also the cultural identity and daily lives of the Tuvaluan people. And it's a poignant example of the real and urgent consequences of rising sea levels. So ultimately, sea level, which appears to be a consistent phenomenon, is inextricably interconnected with human behaviors and also the evolving environment. The escalating sea levels necessitate our focus and also collaborative effort through comprehending the scientific principles, remaining well informed, and making environmentally conscious decisions. And every individual has the ability to actively contribute towards tackling this worldwide predicament. So now let's move on to the next part with Lakshanya.
Thank you, Simon Farah. Hello everyone, it is Lakshanya Kumar here, and today I'll be sharing the causes of rising sea level, and I hope you find this as mind-blowing as I do. So what is causing sea level to rise? The answer is global warming. So what is global warming? Firstly, global warming is basically the long-term warming of Earth's overall temperature, and this is due to the burning of fossil fuels, which has only increased since the human population has increased too. Fossil fuels include coal, oil, and natural gas, and burning them causes what is known as the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect occurs when the sun's rays penetrate Earth's atmosphere, but when that heat is reflected off the surface and cannot escape back into space. The gases produced by burning of these fossil fuels prevent the heat from escaping, and this causes the average global temperature to rise over time, and this is known as global warming. Sea level rise is caused primarily by two factors related to global warming. Firstly, the added water from melting ice sheets and glaciers, and secondly, the expansion of seawater as it warms. For viewers' information, global average sea level has risen 8 to 9 inches, about 21 to 24 centimeters since the year of 1880. In 2022, global average sea level set a new record high, 4 inches above 1993 levels. The rate of global sea level rise is accelerating. It has more than doubled from 0.06 inches per year to 0.14 inches per year. From the 1970s up through the last decade or so, the melting of mountain glaciers and ice sheets has accelerated. For instance, ice loss from the Greenland ice sheet increased sevenfold from 34 billion tons per year to 247 billion tons per year. And the Antarctic ice loss nearly quadrupled from 51 billion tons per year to 199 billion tons per year. As a result, the amount of sea level rise due to melting from 2005 to 2013 was nearly twice the amount of sea level rise due to thermal expansion. This is clearly concerning and shows the pressing need to address the issue of sea level rise worldwide.
Thank you, Lakshana. Hello, everyone. Intan here. So we already know about sea level rise, the consequence of climate change, pose a multifaceted threat to coastal regions worldwide. So my question here is that what will happen if the sea level keep rising? So today we'll be discussing the most severe and major impact of sea level rise. So the first impact will be impact on a coastal erosion. So the mechanism of coastal erosion is by the wave action, where it's carry energy and sediment, a constantly wet away cliff, beaches, and other coastal features. Also, intense storm can bring a storm surge where can lead to more rapid and extensive erosion. Coastal erosion can result in the gradual retreats of shorelines. It leads to the loss of valuable land. This is a particularly problematic in densely populated coastal area where urban development and infrastructures are prevalent. So a coastal erosion and loss of family land are evident to all islands of Tuvalu. Since the majority, which is more than 90% of community, live close to the coast, including important religion infrastructures, and coconut tree plantation are destroyed. So the second impact will be a saltwater intrusion. This is a phenomena that occurs when saline water infiltrates a freshwater aquifer or other source of fresh water. As the sea level rise, the pressure of a salt water near to the coast can force the salt water into infiltrate to this freshwater aquifer. So when a salty seawater seeps into source of fresh water, it's polluted the water, make it not safe to drink, right? So this is a big problem because it threatens the freshwater supply for drinking, farming, or other crucial use, especially in the area that rely a lot on the groundwater. So the third impact will be a global impact. The melting of polar ice contribute to a sea level rise. For example, Arctic and Antarctic ice sheet. These two primary regions experience significant ice loss are the Arctic, where the sea ice is melting rapidly, and Antarctic, where both ice shields and glaciers are contribute to rising sea level, where this can have a global impact, isn't it? So change in ocean circulation pattern. For example, the thermohaline circulation. This is the melting of polar ice that can impact the thermohaline circulation, which is a key component of a global ocean circulation. This circulation is driven by a difference in temperature, which is a thermal, and a salinity, haline, and play a crucial role in distributing heat around the planet. So, disruption of a marine ecosystem, which is the loss of a critical coastal habitat such as a mangrove or a coral reef, might occur, and affecting weather pattern, which is a change in ocean circulation pattern that can influence a regional weather pattern. So by this, it can lead to more frequent or intense weather events, such as a storm, hurricane, and other in different parts of the world. That's now for me. I'll pass to Farah and Sam for the next topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Intan, for the explanation on the effects of sea level rising. Now moving on to the governing agency that helps in controlling the rise of sea level. So, Malaysia, with its extensive coastline, is particularly vulnerable to the impacts of rising sea levels. The increased frequency of extreme weather events and global climate change has led to coastal erosion, saltwater intrusion, and disruptions to ecosystems. Leading the initiative is the National Hydraulic Research Institute of Malaysia, NAHRIM, operating under the Ministry of Natural Resources and the Environment. Is at the forefront of Malaysia's efforts to address water-related challenges, including the impacts of rising sea levels. Let's take a closer look at some of NARIM's key initiatives. So, first and foremost, NARIM is committed to the meticulous monitoring of sea levels around Malaysia's diverse coastlines. Through the deployment of advanced measurement of technologies such as tide gauge and satellite observations, they gather critical data to discern patterns and variations in sea levels over time. So, NARIM doesn't stop at monitoring. The institute conducts comprehensive assessments of coastal vulnerability, taking into account factors like topography, land use, and infrastructure. This knowledge allows them to pinpoint areas most at risk from rising sea levels, guiding their targeted adaptation and mitigation strategies. So, as a response to the challenges posed by sea level rise, NAHRIM is actively involved in the design and implementations of coastal protection measures. This encompasses the development of sea walls, breakwaters, and other critical infrastructures to effectively mitigate the impacts of coastal erosion and flooding.
To anticipate future scenarios, NAHRIM has employed climate change modeling, and by integrating climate data with hydrological and coastal models, the Institute helps them to project future sea level rise scenarios, and this information is instrumental in making informed decisions related to infrastructure planning and land use management. And recognizing the importance of community involvement, NAHRIM also engages in extensive community outreach, and this includes raising awareness about the impacts of rising sea levels and implementing capacity building initiatives. Their goal is to empower local communities with the knowledge and skills necessary to adapt to changing coastal conditions. Beyond assessments and modeling, NAHRIM also conducts research on the development of sustainable coastal infrastructure, and this includes exploring innovative engineering solutions and materials designed to enhance the resilience of coastal structures against the impacts of rising sea levels and climate change. Therefore, these initiatives collectively represent NAHRIM's holistic approach to controlling and mitigating the effects of rising sea levels in Malaysia.
Hi, I'm Tracy. Thank you, Sam and Farah, for explaining the governing law and also the position of our country. Since the issue of rising sea level is a global issue, our viewers may be curious about whether there are any international treaties and organizations that aim to mitigate the issue. First of all, let us have a look at the Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement, a monumental treaty within the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, represents a unified global effort to combat climate change. Adopted in 2015, it outlines commitment from participating nations to limit global warming well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, with aspiration to limit it to 1.5 degrees Celsius. By curbing overall temperature increase, the agreement aims to alleviate the impacts on rising sea level and other climate-related challenges. Other than the Paris Agreement, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change serves as overarching framework for international cooperation on climate change. It established in 1992 and provides the basis for subsequent climate-related treaties, including the Paris Agreement. The annual conference of the parties meeting bring nations together to discuss and negotiate strategy to address climate change, including measures to control rising sea levels. Lastly, the Kyoto Protocol 1997. While not exclusively focused on sea level rise, the Kyoto Protocol was a landmark international treaty that set binding emission reduction targets for developed countries. Though it has largely been succeeded by the Paris Agreement, it played a crucial role in shaping the landscape of global climate action and raising awareness about the need for coordinated efforts. After having some understanding regarding the international treaties, we come to the part of what organizations are tackling the issue of rising sea level. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC) is established by the UNFCCC and the World Meteorological Organization (WMO). The IPCC is a scientific body that assesses the latest scientific knowledge on climate change. Its comprehensive report provides policymakers with a robust foundation for decision making, including strategy to addressing rising sea levels. Next, the United Nations Environment Programme is a leading authority on environmental issues within the UN system, actively engaged in climate change initiatives. It supports countries in adapting to the impact of rising sea levels and advocate for sustainable development practices that mitigate the root cause of climate change. That's all for my sharing about the international treaties and organizations. Thank you.
So guys, having shared the issue of rising sea level, we would like to share our opinions on the ways to improve this issue. First and foremost, I believe that there should be increased awareness on the issue of rising sea level. For this, there should be global campaigns organized by environmental organizations so more people will be aware and realize the importance and urgency of this issue.
So, in my opinion, for the ways to improve this issue is that, for me, I think to combat rising sea levels, there's a two-pronged approach is imperative, which is firstly, we should widespread awareness on climate change and sustainable practices is key. And secondly, fostering international collaboration is also crucial for impactful and collective solutions. And together, these measures can pave the way for a more resilient and sustainable future. Thank you.
So, in order to mitigate the effects of increasing sea levels, it is imperative to prioritize education. Incorporating climate change education into school curriculum helps cultivate a feeling of environmental accountability from an early stage. In addition, advocating for community-based climate adaptation programs and citizen science efforts can empower local communities to actively participate in minimizing the consequences of increasing sea levels. So that's all from me. Thank you.
For me, it will be investigating in a renewable energy for mitigate the sea level rise. Transitioning away fossil fuel to a sustainable energy source. For example, a solar, wind, or hydroelectric power, which can curb the greenhouse gas emission, which is responsible for global warming. So we can limit the rate of a temperature rate and slow the melting of ice cap and glaciers. Yeah.
From my point of view, government should ensure that policies related to land use, climate change, and disaster risk reduction are integrated and coordinated. This holistic approach ensures that strategies to address rising sea level are cohesive and effectively implemented. Thank you.
All in all, we hope that this environmental issue will not persist and will be addressed properly on a global level. We hope that we have inspired you all to contribute to this global issue in any way possible. We hope we have been able to at least raise awareness on this issue in our Little Science Nerds community, as a little goes a long way. Let's all be good Earth citizens and look after our home.
We have reached to the end of our video for today. I have a short inspiring message for y'all. Protect our Earth, our beloved home. Curb a global warming, rising sea levels, our urgent warning. Thank you guys. Stay tuned to another awesome science video coming on your way. A guarantee for excitement and information video from us. Bye-bye.